Hey Roanoke, welcome back to another episode of If You Noke, You Know, a municipal podcast brought to you by the City of Roanoke, where we go behind the scenes and introduce you to some of the awesome people who are making great things happen around our city every day. Today, we have a special crossover episode with Roanoke County to bring you behind the scenes for the annual Go Outside Festival, or Go Fest. We will be chatting with Kait Pedigo from Roanoke Outside and Kelly Brammer from the City of Roanoke's Parks and Recreation team about what goes into putting together an event like Go Fest and what you have to look forward to at this year's festival. But first, Roanoke, join me in welcoming my co-host for the episode, KaelynSpickler. Kaelyn is the host for Roanoke County's podcast, Out of the Office. Kaelyn, it's great to work with you today.
I'm happy to merge with you, Carol. Thanks for having us and letting us do this. So Kait and Kelly, welcome to Out of the Office.
And if you noke, you know.
We are so happy to have you and excited to hear about all of the upcoming fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We're
you.
excited to be here.
So before we get too far into the fun on the horizon and really the fun already happening, Kait, Kelly, please go ahead and introduce yourselves a little bit.
Hi, I'm Kelly Brammer. I am the events coordinator with Roanoke City Parks and Recreation.
And I'm Kait Pedigo. I work for Roanoke Outside Foundation as the event manager. And we are the partnership that puts on the Anthem Go Outside Festival.
Awesome.
We're so excited you're here.
Yes.
Yeah. We love talking Go Fest, so this is great.
I love going to Go Fest, so...
And I've actually never been to Go Fest.
Oh,
I
yes.
know.
That
I've
needs to
always been
change.
out of town, and I'm going to be out of town again this year, too.
Oh, no.
So sad.
I know.
You have to put it on your calendar. It's always the weekend after Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
always that weekend.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, next
the
year
date.
then. No excuses.
Absolutely.
Let's get right to it. We are a couple weeks out from the annual Roanoke Go Outside Festival. Can you talk a little bit about the festival for people like me who have not actually been?
Absolutely, yes. So it is many things, but at the very heart of it, it is a 3-day outdoor sports festival that is completely free to attend, with the goal that is very simple, getting people outside. So the mission is to break down as many barriers as possible to the outdoors for folks and bring the entire community together to celebrate the outdoors for 3 days. And so there's a lot.
Yeah.
And so before we get too far into it, I guess I should probably recommend to folks that they head to RoanokeGoFest.com if this seems interesting to them, because there's so much more than we can talk about in a podcast going on that weekend. We have over 100 vendors. We have hundreds of activities for people to do hands-on. There's so many pro shows, pro demos, athlete demos, and then world-class films, live music. There's really more to be done than can fit into a weekend. So if you're curious, definitely head over and peruse the website, because there's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have done that. And I even did that last year, I remember. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, it comes from the community, and I think that's the part that makes it so special and so unique. And so our team kind of provides the backbone, the organization of it, but really the part that sings is the community coming up and putting their best foot forward and saying, I'm bringing this demo. It's kind of like a stone soup of outdoor community where everybody has something to contribute, whether it's group hikes or e-bike demos, or they have an amazing speaker that they're bringing in to talk on the campfire stage. There's all kinds of really awesome showing. So
Yeah, and that's something I definitely wanted to talk about too, because whether you're a camper or whether you are looking for that active feel or whether you're just looking to shop around at the vendors, there is something for you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have never seen somebody leave the festival sad.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good.
I went to Go Fest.
Right. I'm so disappointed. Yeah.
So, is there anything new this year that you're excited about?
Is there anything for you?
I don't know if it's a new thing that I'm excited about, but I have a little bit of a heart for our Highline slackliners. And they are just a big wow factor, 6 stories up in the air or over our amphitheater. So they're just really fun, and it's something unique that you don't get to see very often. So they just make me really happy.
And we can talk about it this year. Last year we kept it a secret.
We were it was brand new last year. So we were we're not telling anyone this year. We're putting it up on the schedule so everyone can see it and won't miss it.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's very significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I can't do the slack line that's 6 inches off the ground.
Same.
Like 6
Right.
stories in the air is
Yeah.
insane.
They are clipped in, you know, safety
Well,
and all.
sure,
but
yeah.
it's pretty spectacular.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
So this is going to be over the amphitheater, or like what is underneath?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll have 2 different lines. So one is going to be in Elmwood over the amphitheater, and then the other will be over like Franklin Road, Holton Plaza area. So we'll have different times and different shows.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because that's a Freedom First event, and we're excited about that because Freedom First is one of our partners that really buys into that outdoor narrative. Like they wanted to do something to kind of accentuate the mural that they just put out,
awesome
which if you
mural.
haven't seen that yet, it's amazing. It's a rock climber with McAfee Knob in the background. So just more like cool, awesome things that are coming out of this community, kind of basically all of us in one voice saying we are an outdoor town. So
Yeah.
it's very cool.
What's the thing you're so excited about?
I mean, I have so many things, but I really get into the Banff Center Mountain Film Festival and the Campfire Stage, both of which are coming from Mass General Store. So I'm really excited about those because those are really unique. You hear about stories, you got to hear from different perspectives on people. There's films that are just like really awe-inspiring. We've gotten a sneak peek at them, and so they're just going to be you don't want to miss them. They're going to open up the festival on Friday night on the big screen in Elmwood Amphitheater, and that theme music gets going and you're like,
It just sets the tone.
Oh, yeah.
It just is like, get ready. We're doing outdoor cool stuff this weekend.
yeah. And there's like, so some of the stories, I won't talk about all of them, I promise. But there's this amazing story about these women in Afghanistan who are ultra runners, and they're trying to run an ultra marathon during like the Taliban takeover. Like that's crazy, right?
Wow.
But then there's also like stories about this awesome girl who's living in a village in Africa and has a pump track and is like going super fast on these mountain biking, you know, because somebody gave her access to a pump track and a mountain bike. Like, that's super cool. And then, of course, like, I don't know if you've heard of Danny McCaskill, but he is just this really hilarious biker who has all these hijinks and tricks and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of things in the films, but then also we've been building on this relationship with the Humble Hustle Company over the last couple of years. And so they have this really intentional and really thoughtful group of speakers that they're bringing to the Campfire Stage, which we're super proud of. It's this awesome atmosphere. It's a very laid back, casual stage, and you sit on the hillside outside the main library downtown under the shade of a tree, and you just like chill out on some grass, and you hear these really amazing people talk about what they're doing in the outdoors, and that's, for me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is
just hearing that point of view. So there's James Gregory, who goes by the Ethnic Hiker or the Ethnic Explorer, my apologies, on Instagram, and he's going to be talking about his kind of path through coming from like a very small town in Virginia to becoming this like personality on the internet and having this community of people all interested in the outdoors. And then, you know, Asia Bright with Black Girls Hike, and then Amber Wendler, who is local. She's getting her PhD from Virginia Tech, and they all have some really interesting things to say about building community for, you know, underserved populations in the outdoors. So those are things that I'm most excited about.
Yeah. And also on the Campfire Stage, we're going to have a directors panel.
Yeah.
Local directors with Parks and Rec, so you can kind of talk to them about, it's like a Q&A and different things that they come up with. I'm really excited about that personally, being Parks and Rec person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then also Super Carlin Brothers are coming back, and they're big YouTubers, and they have a huge following, so we're really excited to bring them back too.
Yeah, you guys definitely have been able to recruit some really cool and interesting people to help with this.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it too is just those relationships, like Kate mentioned, like the Humble Hustle and stuff. Like, it's just having the right partners and knowing who they know, and they get to bring a different perspective, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to have a shared vision with people in the community. I think that's
There's
a huge
lot of
part
buy-in.
of it. Yes, which is great.
Yeah, and I think something that, like, going off of that is really interesting about GoFest is just how you guys are able to involve both Roanoke City and Roanoke County with having camping at Explorer Park. That's really nice. But then even going back to, like, something so simple like what you talked about with the mural, the McAfee Knob hiker being portrayed in the city, like, that just shows, I think, the community and connectivity that we're trying to build.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was actually one of my other favorite new things that I was like, I know she's going to ask about this, so I'll wait until she brings it up.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a huge thing. And the idea is just so kind of beautiful when you think about it too. Just like we talk about this Metro Mountain mix that we have in Roanoke. You have this awesome downtown, and then you can be at Explore Park in less than 15 minutes. And Explore Park has everything. There's hiking, there's biking, there's river access, there's high elements. I apologize.
Like the ropes course.
Yes, the ropes course. There's a disc golf course. There's so much. And so, yeah, I think it's a huge benefit to the festival for people to have that opportunity to camp out again. We used to have camping down at River's Edge, and to bring that back and have another partner involved coming into it, it just kind of emphasizes that more and elevates the experience for people. So we're really excited about that.
Yes, and that's so true what you said about the Mountain Metro. Like, you can't have the Mountain Metro without both Roanoke City and Roanoke County.
Absolutely.
Very true. Absolutely.
And speaking of River's Edge, so I am a longtime Go Fest person, and I went to the very first Go Fest, and now's the hard-hitting journalism, ladies. Can we explain to folks what prompted the move from River's Edge to downtown?
Well, we both have thoughts on this, and we both, we talk about this pretty much ongoing, always. And I'll just preface it by saying that our committee is put together by Parks and Recreation and Roanoke Outside, and we feel very much the same way that pretty much everybody does. So we'll preface it that way. But, there's a lot of things that go into putting on the event that kind of go behind the scenes and getting into like how the sausage is made. And a lot of that comes down to just making the best decision for the mission. And really at the end of the day, it comes down to we're still recovering from the pandemic, and our budget is nearly half of what it was before.
So the budget is also recovering from the pandemic.
Exactly. And there's just so much infrastructure that goes into the event that people, and we don't want them to notice, because if you notice it, then you're probably looking for it and it's not there. So we want you to just, enjoy the experience and not have to worry about the lights and the fencing and the bathrooms and the stages and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
I mean, it's the infrastructure downtown is already set. There's a huge stage in Elmwood Park, and there's lights and things like that. There's power. All of those things would have to be brought over to River's Edge, and it's a really big undertaking, both from a labor standpoint, but also a financial standpoint. So really being able to pivot with that has been huge for us.
Well, and probably an unintended consequence is by having it downtown, doesn't it make it a little bit more accessible when it comes to transportation, when it comes to people being able to move around? If you are not as able-bodied, it's easier to move around on the sidewalks and streets.
So glad you brought that up. Yes, it was actually very cool last year to see. We saw a whole group of people who were in wheelchairs being able to freely go about the entire festival, and there's just certain things like that would make it a lot harder if we were at our old location.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's that, and there's just a lot of things that have kind of come from it, like the lemonade from lemons.
Lemons from lemons.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, having the amphitheater right there, it's kind of like the signature event venue for the Roanoke City, and having that beautiful place being able to be activated this way. And then also just for our retailers, Orvis, Mass General Store, and Walkabout Outfitter are a block away from the festival. Yes. Like, how awesome is that? And then also parking and getting in and out and everything. We had actually maxed out the parking structure over across the street from Reserve Avenue. So we kind of couldn't grow much further than the 40,000 people that we were seeing before the pandemic and are still seeing now, which is kind of incredible. But yeah, there's 5 parking garages within a couple blocks of the downtown area, and there's hundreds of parking spaces on the street, and so access is just huge. Plus the bus routes and just the ability for people to stumble upon the festival. A lot of really cool unintended things that we've noticed the last couple of years as it's been downtown.
Well, and speaking of you had mentioned, Kate, about how the sausage is made. When do you all start planning an event like this? Like, how long does that planning process take?
We're already planning for 24. Just
that's
kidding.
No,
kind
okay.
of,
not,
kind
that's
of,
not
kind
really
of, but
kidding.
not.
Yeah, it is ongoing for sure. Yeah, no, we
I would say we really get into it after the new year each year. So
Yeah.
like January is where we are really starting to forming the bigger ideas, and then things just kind of come to, well, things don't just come together. We make it come together, but things do fall together once you get, I'd say, more April, May.
Yeah, I think May is
big.
kind of big.
Yeah, May is big.
Do you think that you'll ever get to a point where it's kind of like an instant event, kind of like add water and stir, like you've got it down? Or do you think that you're just always trying to bring in new things and new ideas, and it's just that process is always going to be there to make that happen?
I think it's important to evolve. With these different partnerships we're building, it's, we get to see something new each year develop from that. And with this new location, we have learned, our layout has changed a little bit each year. We're always striving to make it bigger and better and just a more enjoyable experience for people. So we take things like feedback and we really do take it to heart as a committee and try and implement it each following year.
Yeah. And I'll echo that and say that I think it's kind of baked into its kind of how it is. It's a representation of the community and the industry, the outdoor industry. And so I think that as that fluctuates and grows, like that's our goal, right, is to continue growing that and having that become new. And I think that new is always going to be part of it. And that's kind of part of what makes it so awesome. So like these things that we're doing, working with Roanoke County and expanding into that world, I'm really excited to see how that goes in the next couple of years. And I think that there's going to be a lot there. I also am excited about, just these businesses that we work with, Walkabout Outfitter, Cardinal Bike Shop, Fleet Feet, the Humble Hustle Company, and what their trajectory is. Like there's always going to be a shift as these community partners progress and bring something new to the table. So I don't think we'll ever get to an add water element of it. But I love the idea of that. But yeah, no, I think, and that to me too is also really enjoyable to kind of envision what could be new and what can we use, what can we, amplify, and how can we capture people's, inspiration and get them a new reason to get outside.
So with that, I think now it's time for our next level adventure.
Merged with If You Know, You Know's This or That.
So with the season officially turning over to fall and GoFest right around the corner, let's level up GoFest.
This or That edition.
Perfect.
Sounds good. I don't know what we're in for.
I know. Again, it's the hard-hitting questions. So, lumberjacks or slacklining?
Ooh, I'm gonna go slackline.
I'll go lumberjacks.
Oh, this is us in a nutshell. We always even each other out.
Absolutely, always.
That's so perfect. That's
But
how
we
you
won't
guys...
do it for all the questions, I promise.
I was about to say, that was a little too convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, so camping in a yurt or in a tent?
Yurt. I glamp all the way.
I think if I were going to be putting on the event, in a yurt, but attending the event in a tent.
Okay.
BMX stunt show or the demo pool?
I'll say demo pool, just because it's so cool to get out there and like paddle on a stand-up paddleboard in downtown Roanoke. But I do love me some BMX.
I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. I love demo pool just because for someone to be able to try a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard, they might not normally be able to do that. But yeah, also BMX is great too.
You're asking us to choose between our children here.
Yeah. Everyone has a favorite. Ask my mom, it's my brother.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so last one that we have is food vendor or artisan vendors. I feel like this is another between your kids one.
Yeah. Well, okay, we have some really amazing food vendors, and I love to eat. So there we go. That will be my choice.
Oh, I'm also, I love food too. But yeah, we do have some really great artisans. I mean, then they have a lot of really cool outdoor products. Oh no, I don't want to pick. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble.
You will get in trouble. Kelly manages all of our vendors.
I'm gonna go artisan, vendor. I'm going to go vendors. I'm going to go all the vendors.
Yes,
All the vendors.
There you go.
Don't come for me.
Yeah, that one was a hard one. I actually kind of feel bad for asking that one.
All good.
Because everything is so, like, that's very much so an apples or oranges question. And
Yeah,
you can love both apples and oranges.
Yeah.
That is the benefit of GoFest, is that you get it all.
You have it.
So Kate, Kelly, I think this was such a great conversation. Carol, thank you so much for being part of it.
Yes, thank you for having the idea to merge our podcasts. I hope we get to do this again soon.
Yes, I agree. But thank you for all this information about GoFest. Like I said, as someone who hasn't been, this was so cool. And like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So now I'm intrigued.
Yes,
hopefully that's how
absolutely.
the listeners feel too.
Good.
Well, we hope to see you next year.
Yes, calendars marked.
I will send you a meeting invite after we get done.
Yes, I think my October is clear next year.
There you go. Amazing.
All right, well, thank you guys.
And we look forward to seeing everyone in the community out at GoFest.
Yes.
We're so excited.
Thank you for having us so much.
Thank you.
And that's going to be a wrap for us this month on If You Noke, You Know. Make sure that you follow along, like, review, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.